Hello there, me Ddraig here, and we're back to have a look at Yuki's Overhaul, the Empire update. So if you haven't seen my previous video, which explains about the unit roster and all the additions to the Empire, I'll link that on the screen now. But in the meantime, let's delve into the campaign a bit. So, there's Carolingia, and there's Riky province, and as always, you got to deal with Empire successionists. And a quick note here, this is quite a hard mod. I've had a go of it a fair few times now, and to get started is a bit of a challenge. I always play on hard difficulty for both campaign and battles, and yeah, you get overrun very quickly at the start. So I would suggest careful, steady progress. Anyway, let's get back to the thing. So a few things to explain. First of all, we can have a quick look at the campaign. So, usual things. So, recruitment is done exactly the same way. Unlike another changes you had in the green skin. This one is obviously upkeep for each one, as always. And you can see the upkeep values there. Just hover over some of these. And you can see the units are expensive. They're not cheap. 200. 446 of Reich's Guard. So, obviously, better the cavalry, more expensive it's going to be. And so no need to go into that. I'll go into the skill trees in my next video, which I usually split these up because it just makes it a bit easier, so you can focus on what you want to have a look at first. And let's go into tech tree. There's only need to briefly look at. Nothing's actually changed for the actual things, unlike the green skin one. Here we've just got little tweaks to his own to Yuki's own preferred way of playing. Little tweaks here and there. I'll just hover over a few of them as I go through. You can pause the video if you want to, or just play the actual mod. But yeah, nothing massively to talk about, so we can skip on that. There is quite a lot to talk about in the building browser though. Now, if you remember on my Yuki, on the Greenskins update, I mentioned that buildings affect what garrison you have. So at the moment, because this is Altdorf, the garrison is pretty substantial. And I'll just hover over that while I'm talking. So as you can see, it has a big garrison of 10 right at the start. And this is just the other one it has, and right at the top. It has great swords, it has halberdiers, again 10 again, but much higher tier. And the reason it only has 10, and like when you get to that stage in vanilla, you have about 20 units. It all depends on what buildings you have. And as you notice there, they have an army ability, Colossal Mortar Barrage. And this can be used in any home province when you're having a battle with the AI. So you always have that option. I think if memory serves, it was 2 shots. It's quite a heavy ability. It's quite substantial damage, and obviously it's going to damage everybody around it. So watch where you place it, but it's very good at ability. Adds a bit more flavour to the Empire. So onto the actual building tree itself. And as you can see, it's expanded from the vanilla quite a lot, especially on the right hand side, infrastructure. And we'll go over that in a minute. First, so as you can see, that's pretty much standard. You got your growth, you got your income, and you got income from trade house as well, which is very nice. Then you got the specialist building here. It's exactly the same as it would be in vanilla, apart from the obviously Yuki's own version of the units. And then you got Imperial Palace, pretty similar. First new building, Castle Right Guard. So that's not a new building, but big changes. So this is where you start finding out how to actually recruit for new units. And I'm sure the first thing you're going to jump out of the page is how much it is. Yes, that's 1,250 per unit. And these are obviously restricted, so there's the capacity of them there. So you got a capacity of 3 Reich's Guard. So as you can see, money is going to be the order of the day for the Empire. Yuki, pun intended, that Yuki has actually developed quite a good ecosystem, and he's obviously tweaked it quite a lot, and will be constantly tweaked. But also he's give you a footout how it's working. As you can see, there's there we go, minus upkeep for all order and Reich's Guard units. Very nice. So that's where your recruit the Imperial Foot, the Reichsguard, and the Reichsguard in the circle and the demiglyphs. So that's why they're so expensive. And there's a Reichsguard there. And Franz has a minus upkeep for Reichsguard if memory serves. That's why it's a bit different. Then you got resource. Nothing really much to say about that. I'll come back to this building because that's a very interesting building. And I can explain why in a minute. So now you got your garrisons. Oh, that reminds me. So garrison. So this building provides a garrison of Imperial Foot. And each building will provide a different garrison. So there's a Bright Wizard. Exactly the same as the Greenskins. So if you build any of these units, you're going to have a garrison of great swords. Here, obviously you have a mortar. Right across the tree. So there's all your default recruitment for all the usual recruit units you're familiar with. Got all the cavalry ones there. Moving along. Steam tanks, all the usual things. And of course each got a capacity. So always remember your capacities. So if you want to build, just to quickly recap, more buildings of these you have across all your provinces, the more great cannons you can have. So if you have 2 of these buildings, you have 4 great cannons, etc. So and this obviously affects the AIs exactly the same as it would you. So it allows you to have really unique armies, and you have to be really careful what you recruit. And just for sake of completion, here's how much they cost. Steam tanks are not cheap, let's just say that. And then you got some usual technical trees, and of course you've got the Cathedral Sigma, the Sigma tree. You got another Bright Wizard, so you got the wizards there, Wizards in Conclave, etc. Imperial Academy there, and Night Watch. So let's get on to the brand new buildings. So they're split up, all in infrastructure, and they all have different abilities. So the first one you might probably be familiar with, growth. Nothing really to say, but just as I'm going through these, remember about the garrison as well. So when you got this province, well, when you got this building, you got a garrison, automatically Pistiers 1 unit. And that's always one. It's always 1 unit per building. Never gets above 1. So that's that. Now we got taproom. So this adds to public order. All very good. All pretty normal so far. Now we got the Soldiery House. Now, what you might see from here, this is, well, I'm not going to say how we out, but you know what I mean. And as you can see, the massive amount of income from this building. Public order is obviously very high. A happy town, obviously. But it does increase vampire corruption. Personally, I would say it should be chaos corruption, really, if you know about the lore of Warhammer. I think that would fit better, but yeah, I can see vampire corruption as well. So there's obviously a plus and a negative for this building, and you begin to see that theme as we go along. So but it increases income from that is massive. And great public order, but you do get your vampire corruption, so you gotta have something to counter that. Maybe one of these buildings for the Untainted bonus. Next, oh no, that's the same one. Town Watch. So it doubles your public order again, plus 24, but your income is severely decreased because of the brutal militia war. So plus a negative. And this is just a Reaving House. This is a standard. This just brings cash. No, nothing wrong with that. Just a bit of garrison. Then we got a Young Sharks hut. So good income again, but public order -8. I'll come back to public order in a minute because there's something I did find out, and I actually had to message Yucky because I thought it was a bug, and it wasn't a bug. It was me being an idiot. I'm not reading things, so I'll pass that knowledge on to you. So more money, and then you got the tax correction house, severe Yakka growth, severe public order thing, but income of maximum 1,200, a huge amount of income. Now what you could do is max this building out, and obviously this will take quite a while, and then change the buildings, have as many provinces as you can, and much public order buildings as you can, and then boost up to weigh the pros and cons of public order. Now public order, as I was saying, well actually, just finish this off. This building, 500, and it's called the Messenger Post, and this is where you recruit those really unique units which you saw on my roster. So as you can see, they're all here, the Longshanks, Cowboy, Great Swords, etc. And as you can see from there, the prices are pretty steep for these excellent units. And But what you will notice is units are only recruitable after completing the relevant missions. So this is the twist, which I really think is a really interesting twist. You can't recruit these unless you've done that mission. So that's being said, and that's pretty much the entire tree covered for you. Let's go to that exact same thing. So, on the second turn, you get issued quests. You get issued 10 quests. Let's hover over one. None shall pass. So these can be done at any time. And you got equal bit of your to see why you've got to do it. And what happens for this one. You get Avian's Gratitude. And that increases your capacity of +2 to Knights of Singmur's Blood. And Diplomaturation's massive for Avian. So you want the Singmur's Blood in your army? That is the only way to do it. You have to do that, defeat this army, which is quite substantial. Quite a lot of goblins. It's not a horrific army, but it's caused reinforcements. And I have no idea what these are. So I think I'll leave that for you to find out yourself. So treasury and that. And then you got Dark Forces. You got Hockland. And as you can see, turns are raining. That just means for the rest of the game you have the capacity of +2. That's why it's so high. More cash, is that the same? Yeah, all the cash is exactly the same. And Dark Forces. So this time you get against Chaos. It is Chaos, yeah, that's Chaos, yep. And then you get the Hockey Hand, you get +2 capacity. So, as you can already see, there's going to be a limit on each of these units. So there's only going to be +2 Hockey rifles for the entire armies, all of them. There's only going to be 2. So everyone is different. I'll just go over them as I talk. And yeah, that's quite a navigable twist on how you build your Empire armies. Because you've got quite a big roster anyway. But now if you want these specialist troops, because also remember, you've got all the... let's click on there for a second. You still got your regiments for now. They're all there. And you also got these to freshen out your army as well. So a particularly interesting thing. And of course you get the bonus of diplomatic relations +200. So it allows you to confederate with that particular faction. Much easier, so you can use it tactically. Like maybe you want to go for Midland. If we can find Midland. There's Midland. Nordiand, Austrian, Sturland, Topicund. Can't find it. It must be here. There it is. So if you want, what's that one? That's the Cowboy Great Swords. So if you want that particular province, do this thing, and you can try to confederate with them up in the frontier, which would make things a lot easier, and so forth. So you can use it very tactically as well. So with that being said, I think I can quickly look at the officers tree. So that's exactly the same, but you have to be required rank 15 to get any of these now. So, but the actual, as far as I can see, the actual boosts are pretty much identical. So I think I've covered everything there. So I've covered diplomacy, so exactly the same. Technology, you've already seen. Never move there. Officers, yeah, that's the entire thing covered. So with that, I shall leave you to it, and thanks for watching. And I'll pop up this skill tree, link to a skill tree video here. I knew I was forgetting one more thing, so before I let you go, as I said, I had to message Riky on Steam, his comment section, just because I was getting really bad casualty replenishment problems. I just couldn't get. I had a few fights, and my army was not recruiting at all. It was just frozen. And I thought actually it was a bug. It wasn't a bug, it was me not reading tooltips. So if I go into here you got province effects. If I leave it on there for a minute, so it's indifferent at the moment. And as you can see, my proper order is dropping. Because of the start and because of the Reichsguard. The secessionists down here. So the reason I was having this problem is because that my public order was so low that I couldn't get any casualty replacement. I was getting minus tax rate and I was getting bad growth as well. So that is why I couldn't do it. So just so you're aware, public order makes a lot of difference in Yuki's Empire section. So make sure you keep an eye on that, and make sure you keep your public order high or have no battles at all in your home provinces. The 8th game, or the 8th on in the game, not as much as a bigger issue, but right at the start it's a right royal pain. Because remember, garrisons are exactly the same, so getting your garrison back up to full strength after some battles is a real pain. So yes, so this time it is finished the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.